For more information on today's program, contact Erica Taylor Montgomery at threegirlsmedia.com. Now, back to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy on the Bay Area's business leader, AM 1220 KDOW.
Good morning and welcome back to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy on 1220 AM KDOW, where we help you deliver a total knockout with your PR, marketing, social media, and so much more. I'm your host, Erica Taylor Montgomery, and this morning in round one of Punch, we are talking digital marketing with Adam Helway, who's the CEO of Secret Sushi Creative. So Adam, let's talk a little bit about mobile devices and their impact on the world of marketing, advertising, and then commerce in general. Where do you see things going with digital marketing when it comes to mobile devices?
Well, I mean, it really is the future of digital marketing for a number of reasons. First and foremost, there's been some studies over the last 6 months that have shown that internet usage by mobile devices will eclipse desktop and laptop computers in 2015. And what that means essentially is that more people are going to be accessing the internet with their mobile devices, both their smartphones and their tablets in 2015 and on. It's going to continue to be the primary device and means that people will be accessing the internet. And studies have also shown that there is a large percentage of individuals who are using mobile devices to find what they call real-time or in-time information. So when they need to find information about something right then and there, they're using their mobile device predominantly. They're usually out and about, and that's the reason why they're doing that. And so essentially, it's a huge consumption device, mobile devices, and usually there's a lot of context in comparison to sitting behind a desk and being there with your laptop or your desktop computer. Having a mobile device in hands provides a lot of context to both the user and both the advertiser or marketer, because now you've got a device that tells the device is telling you where the person is, what time of day it is, what might be around them, even information on that device that's telling you who they are socially, if they're connected to social networks and so on. So there's so much bundled into that device that the device is not just about whether I'm accessing the internet or not. It's actually about having kind of a snapshot of who I am as a person and what is around me and where I am, and how does that feed into being more accurate and providing better information that's more relevant to the person in the end when you want to market to them or interact with them.
Sure. Fantastic. All right, let's go to the phones. We have a call from Steve in Menlo Park, who's curious about why invest in an app. So Steve, welcome to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy.
Thank you. Yeah, we know that a lot of people are doing apps, and we're trying to reach more of our mobile customers. And I'd like to know if Adam thinks that investing in an app makes sense for business.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. So I think there's a couple different avenues to go with that. I'd say one is there's what would be considered native applications. So these are applications built specifically for a platform like Android or for iOS, and there's an investment that happens with those. And if that investment can sometimes be a little hefty, and so what I would say with that would be to decide what is it that return on investment in that sense that you're going to be getting out of it. Some brands can really make sense investing in a native application for branding efforts. So something like, I think it might have been Ford recently that invested into doing something for the Super Bowl, where they created a completely different application directly related to what was going on for the Super Bowl and the Ford brand, and that's great for them. It's great to brand their themselves, but it may be cost prohibitive for a smaller company. Another thing to consider, if you don't need, say, the really rich functionality of an app, is to think about something called responsive design. And so what responsive design is it takes the website that you have, that you love, that you've spent this time branding and putting content into, and actually conforms it a bit to a mobile device. So rather than, say, switching the whole theme or creating a whole separate website, you retain the branding, you retain most of the content because you're not actually changing the content at all, and then the website actually conforms to that mobile device. The advantage of that is one, you're making your information already accessible, that you already have on the web, accessible to folks on mobile devices. You're not removing branding, which a lot of things like when you're using WordPress or something like that for your site, can get replaced by really ugly looking themes and things that are just removing everything and switching your whole site to a whole different format. And then you can also prioritize content and features for mobile folks if you want to. So if you take a look at responsive design, look at it on the web, you'll take a look and see, what are the best practices and things, and see some of the sites out there that are starting to do it. It's something that's only about a year and a half old in the web design world.
Does that help, Steve?
Yeah, it does. Is responsive design, is that a methodology or is that a technology? I'm a little confused.
It's a little bit of both. It's a methodology that uses some of the existing web technologies that are out there. So, it's both kind of a philosophy and an approach using certain technologies like CSS and JavaScript and HTML.
Well, thank you so much. That really is helpful.
Thanks, Steve.
Great. Thanks so much for the call, Steve. And if you have calls about digital marketing or questions about digital marketing, you can give us a call live. The number is 800-516-1220. That's 800-516-1220 to reach us here at Punch Media and Marketing Made Easy. Our guest is Adam Helway, the CEO of Secret Sushi Creative. And Adam, let's talk a little bit about SEO when it comes to the whole digital arena. There's so much conversation about search engine optimization when it comes to websites, when it comes to content overall on blogs and things of that nature. How does SEO intersect with digital marketing, and is it still a factor today?
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's evolving. The first thing that I'd kind of point out to your listeners is there's usually three ways that people interact with your content online. One is that you tell them about it. So you've got, for instance, signage and things like that, or it's on your business cards. You send them directly there. The second would be social. So people refer other folks. You're sharing content. You're distributing it out there. Someone finds it and says, hey, you should check this out, shares your link, and so on. And then the third is SEO. So people are actually actively searching for information. I think there's something akin to 2 billion searches per day happening on Google, for instance. And so there's definitely people still using search engines. So if they're using search engines, then there's no reason that anybody should ever claim that, say, SEO is dead, but it certainly is evolving. Probably over the last year and a half, Google has done more to change their search algorithm, which is kind of the holy grail of search and search marketing, and making sure that people can find your content. And so they've changed their algorithm quite a bit, and primarily in the direction of reducing spam, reducing things like duplicate content, folks that were doing things like grabbing other content from other people's sites and creating content farms. The quality of content now that Google requires is much, much higher and is going to continue to be much higher. So that's one thing that they've done recently. The other thing is they're relying much more on what we called social signals. And social signals is, for the most part, social media. So social media was not getting really its fair shake in regards to SEO in the past, and now is much more. For instance, Google Plus, the social network that Google has launched, it's been shown that being on Google Plus or having content on Google Plus and being active on Google Plus, although it's not the most thriving place in the world right now, it actually does impact your SEO. And same thing even with being participating on Twitter and so on, is they look at, just like with traditional SEO, looks at links back to your site as essentially active endorsements of your content. Mm-hmm. They look at now a little bit more. It's starting to work its way in there that they're looking at social signals. So when people are linking and discussing your content in social media in the same way, it's an endorsement from third parties that tells Google, well, these guys, it makes it very hard for you to game the system, because how can you basically get armies and armies of folks, or maybe smaller armies of folks, to actually endorse your content and share it? It must have some value if people are sharing it and finding interest in it.
Sure, that makes absolute perfect sense. So we've talked a little bit about trends and what's new, and really it's mobile devices that are the latest, hottest thing when it comes to digital. And we only have just a couple quick minutes left, but I wanted to ask you briefly, are there any other trends that you see in the digital marketing realm?
Yeah, I think the term would be solo-mo is the one that you hear as social, local, and mobile convergence of it. So rather than it being one or the other, funny enough, we have a podcast and we call it Solo-mo because this is really what we go over, the Solo-mo show. And the convergence of social data, social engagement, social interaction, social applications, and so on, as well as local. So again, I talked about the context of where are you in context to to businesses and such around you. And then obviously mobile, and having mobile devices and being able to be moving around and still have that connection to the internet. So anything regarding that whole sphere of social, local, and mobile is really the trend that is going to continue to blossom over the next however many years, for quite some time.
All right, fantastic. And I want to make sure that our listeners know how to reach you. What's the best way to get in touch with you, Adam?
Well, you can go ahead and reach out to me directly. My name is Adam, so adam@secretsushi.com, and that's pretty much the easiest way. You can follow me at Secret Sushi on Twitter if you're out there on Twitter as well.
Great. And your website is secretsushi.com,
yes,
correct?
Yep.
All right. So secretsushi.com or adam@secretsushi.com if you'd like to reach Adam. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Been great having you. All right. You're listening to Punch, Media and Marketing Made Easy on 1220 AM KDOW. When we come back from the break, we'll get into round 2 of Punch, where we'll be talking about social media best practices. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Erica Taylor Montgomery, and we'll be right back after the break.